Yo, what's up guys? In this video, you are going to learn the 4 different models of couch flipping so you can figure out which one is the best for you, and you're gonna learn the pros and cons for each one. Now, something super cool just happened. I literally just got paid $200 as I was setting up for this video. This singular couch right here just sold. The guy just brought me cash and not scripted, so pretty cool. Anyways, so the 4 different models of couch flipping. First, let's start with used highest profit. Now, first off, guys, the used side of things, there's many different ways that you can acquire clients or acquire couches, excuse me. So first, Facebook Marketplace is a great place. That's where I got my first couch. We still source a lot of couches from Facebook Marketplace. You can set up different partnerships with junk removal companies or furniture stores or apartment complexes. You can go to estate sales. There's many ways to acquire couches. But right now we're talking about used couches. So used highest profit. So what I mean by that is every time we get a used couch, we're going to sell it for the highest profit that we possibly can. And the pro to that is going to be that you're literally making the most per every single couch that you get in, right? And typically when you're doing this, you're going to want to add value, right? So with used couches, it comes with things like cleaning, maybe removing dog hair, removing stains, taking the cushion covers off, throwing them in the washing machine. And you're looking to add a lot of value. And one big way that we add value in this industry is delivery. Now, sometimes people will come and pick up, and that's great and all, but a lot of people don't have that option. So giving that person an option to buy a couch at what's probably, even if you're going for high profit, half of retail is an incredible deal, especially if you're going to deliver it. So literally the first year that I was in business, I was doing free delivery. And so that's a great way to add value. So cleaning, good staging is a way to add value, things of that nature, bringing it into the house for them. These are all ways that we can add value. So the first way that we're going to do it is we're literally just going to get couches. Now you can buy couches or you can source couches for free. Mainly, literally 90% of the couches that I get are free. Very small portion of those that I actually buy. And then a small portion we do consignment with people who are looking to sell their couch. And we can get into that later. But, so that is used highest profit. So that means we're acquiring for as low as we can and we're selling for as much profit as possible for that couch. That's a great model. The con is you're gonna have to wait some time for that couch to sell, right? Especially if you're selling on your traditionals like Facebook Marketplace, where we all kind of have to start out. That it's gonna sit for a little while, especially if you're going for highest profit. Now, that, is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, it all depends on how you want to set up your business. Now, the second model of couch flipping is used, but highest volume. And I personally like this model because what this allows us to do is this allows us to kind of put the focus on the free stuff where we have room to just add as much value as we can, but then we're really not looking to sell it for the highest price possible. We're just looking to do as many as possible. This is my model, and it's been a very successful model for me. I've done it since the beginning. I'm not trying to get the highest profit per couch. I'm trying to get as many couches out as possible and turn over. And here's the reason why I like this model is because, and this is a big pro, is because it allows you to build a brand. Listen, the more deals that you get out, the more goodwill you're putting into the marketplace. So the more deals that you push out, the more mouths you've got talking about you, and you almost become a little bit of a buzz. But you need to create somewhere for those people to go. So outside of Marketplace, OfferUp, Craigslist, whatever, you need to have some format where you're aggregating people into. And so that's, it allows you to build a brand. So that's a big pro of the used high volume. Now the con is, of course, you're not gonna be selling for the most. You're not gonna be getting the highest profit per couch, but that's okay. That is something that we're willing to do in order to get goodwill happening and for us to build a brand. Because listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, you send out so many good deals, every time there's a post that goes out in the Columbus, Phoenix City, Smith Station, Fort Benning area about, hey, where should I go to get a couch? There are 20 people in the comments pointing to my business. And that's because I've created a lot of goodwill by going the high volume route. Now, the third model of couch flipping is selling new. So what I mean is finding some kind of a wholesale partner where you buy You either buy in bulk or you find a wholesale partner with no minimum order quantity. The pro to new is you have nothing to do other than store it and deliver it, right? And if you're literally picking up from your manufacturer and dropping off, then you don't even technically have to store it. So that's a huge pro for the new side. It's great. It's harder barrier to entry, right? You got to have some capital. You got to have some skin in the game from the very go. It's not like the used where you can start for, very little or even no money. You're going to have, especially if you're doing a bulk order, I mean, you might have to have $15,000 plus $2,000 to get it to wherever you need it to go. And then you're going to have storage and all that stuff. So it does require a little bit more, you're going to have a little bit more of a tangible business to go this route, but it is a good route. Con is, it's going to be slow. Like it's going to be slower than, selling other couches. People are a lot of times they're searching for good deals, and you are still able to give good deals if you're doing new, but it's a cost game, right? Like you can only get it down so far to get them to move. Whereas if you got a couch for free, I mean, you can mark it down until it ends up flying. So a lot of times what I'll do on my used side of things is if something lasts for more than a day, I'll do what's called a flash sale. So if we have a couple of couches that stick around for a couple of days, I'll literally go into my community and I'll say, hey guys, I'm doing something super cool for the next 24 hours. I'm doing a huge price drop. And because my stuff is literally free, I can afford to do that. You can't drop below what you paid. Pros are, there's hardly anything to do. It's a much more scalable model, especially if you've got a single model that you can market using ads and things like that, that can help you sell the same thing over and over and over again. It's a little bit more scalable, but you lose that kind of urgency piece with this, because really ultimately what you want to create on the used side of things is you want to create urgency and scarcity around your model. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. So that's the new model. Great model, but really where I think, ultimately the best model resides is with something that I call the hybrid model. Now, what I mean by that is we're taking the new and the highest volume. We're taking these two models and we're kind of meshing them. And so it does take a little bit of building for your business, but this is literally the model that I used to hit my $86,000 month in February of 2024. And I still use this model today. But after you've built a little bit of brand using your high volume model, after you get a lot of fingers pointing at your business saying, hey, this is the guy to go to when it comes to getting a really good deal on a couch, you aggregate those people into a community. And then once people already know, like, and trust you, then you can start introducing the new. So what I recommend on the new side of things, if you're finding this way, this will keep you from having to pay $15,000, $30,000 to get a bunch of new inventory that you're gonna have to sit on for a little while. What I recommend is finding a new wholesaler no minimum order quantity wholesaler. So what that means is you can literally pre-sell your new inventory. So you can take everything that your wholesaler has available. If they have no minimum order quantity, that means you don't have to buy 15 to 30 at a time, okay? This is really where you want to be, the no MOQ. So find you a no MOQ wholesaler. You can take all of their whole catalog, and then you can start promoting that to your audience. And from there, your audience you can pre-sell because they already know, like, and trust you. It's easier to get them to say yes and give you money up front. And by the way, that's another big piece to this high volume thing. So every time in my community that I sell a couch, I literally create a sold poster and I tag that person. So what happens is there's sales psychology involved. One, they see how fast it goes up, and then they see how fast it comes down. Okay, there becomes a sense of urgency. After they see that happen so many times with couches that they like, okay, so now I understand that if there's something that I really like, I need to step on it. I need to get to it right away. What this creates is FOMO, and it creates a rush, especially for your high value items, for people to come in and be rushing to your inbox to pay you first. Okay, but once you've created that by going the high volume route and tagging every single person in a sold poster so that people can literally click over and see that, hey, this is a real person that this guy sold a couch to, and it creates fear of missing out. then it's like, okay, well, now you've got a whole audience, you've got the urgency piece, you got the scarcity piece, but you have the trust piece, which is the most important thing you need when you're trying to sell new pre-orders. So literally, I create a catalog of everything that my wholesaler has, and every now and again, I'll just drop them. And I'll say, hey, I'm doing a good deal on this pre-order sale. And I'll say it's usually, $4,500, and that's realistic, really. So there's a couch that does really, really well for me. It's the kind of couch that you would see go up at Ashley's for probably somewhere around 27 to $3,000. I'm able to get it for $890. I sell it for $1,795. So almost $1,000 profit if you include delivery and all of those things. And I literally I'm not having to store it. It's, they're not necessarily wanting to come in and see it. They're aware that it's a pre-order, meaning if they order now, they're going to get it next week. That allows me to take that payment, pay my wholesaler, pick it up with no minimum order quantity. So I can just pick up the one that I ordered. And then that allows me to get my foot in the door on the new side without having to fork out 15 to 30 grand. And to me, the hybrid model is by far the best model for couch flipping. You get all the pros of running high volume and being able to sell new with and given you're really on the used side of things, you're really banking on building a model of scarcity and urgency. So that doesn't mean you stick the catalog up and you leave it up there ongoing. Because if they see something in front of their face and they just know that they can order it at any time, it might push them off to ordering, months from now or whatever. But you want them to order. So what I do is I'll pick a select few that I want to run a sale on for, the period of time. And then I'll, launch those in certain periods of time. So that is the 4 models of couch flipping. If you are interested to see what's the quickest and best model for you to get started today, you can click the button somewhere below this video and jump on a call with me or someone on my team, and we can see if we can help you get to that 10K per month mark. Cheers.